Cubs are the only team in the majors with over 100 wins, and they have locked up home field advantage in the National League. We're joined once again by Rob Parker. Rob, welcome back.
Thank you.
The Cubs have not won a World Series since 1908. How confident are you they're going to break the curse this year?
Very confident, as in
Very.
like 90% sure. That's how confident I am. And it's mostly because you know this, Skip, and Shannon, you know it as well. When it comes to the playoffs, it's about pitching. They have 3 of the top 9 pitchers as far as ERA in the National League, right? Hendricks, Lester, Arrieta. So they have those 3. And then out of the bullpen, you got Chapman, who they made the trade for the Yankees. They have everything in place. They have a great manager. They got great young players who are stars. I mean, I don't know what the weak link is. Now, it doesn't automatically mean you're going to win. We saw the Atlanta Braves.
All those years have
With
great
3
pitchers.
Hall of Fame pitchers, Skip, you know this, and they won 1 World Series and like 15 straight division titles. But in this case, I think last year with them getting knocked out by the Mets, the Cubs, and people thought last year was a miracle run. I think the second year will be their chance to really make it happen. The only team I'm afraid of, and I shouldn't say that because Washington's good too, but the Dodgers still scare me. They were able to win the division without Kershaw most of the year. And they scare me because they've had missteps the last couple of years in the playoffs, and maybe this might be the year that Kershaw turns it around.
Well, I don't believe in curses, but if they don't win it, the state of Illinois is going to curse them out. Because you mentioned their 4th starter is John Lackey, who's won 2 closeout games in World Series. Now, Hector Rodon, he's the setup guy. He was the closer. Now he's in a setup role. You get to the 9th inning with a lead, and Chapman comes out of that bullpen, and not one pitch is going to be under 100 miles an hour. He's going to throw about 20 pitches between 100 and 105. So pitching, they're straight. They got they're going to have the MVP. Chris Bryant's going to win the MVP. They got Rizzo. Jason Hayward, he hasn't hit well this year, but he'll save you a run or 2 in the field.
He's one of the best fielders I've seen in a long time.
Addison Russell and the other Ben Zobrist. Skip, from top to bottom, they're the deepest team in the majors. If they don't win it this year, it might be 2108, and I plan on being busy in 2108.
Is that right?
So I'm not watching the World Series then.
The reason the Chicago Cubs will not win this year is because you're 90% sure that they will, and because you can't make any case for anybody else, because I don't want to hear about the pitching and the defense and the offense and blah, blah, and the bullpen. I get all that. They are clearly the best team in baseball. It's not even close. They're the best team in baseball. I know what I speak of. As Rob knows, I worked for the Chicago Tribune for 3 years. I wrote extensively about the Cubs. I even covered them in a playoff series against the Atlanta Braves in the Kerry Wood year, the year of the summer of love of Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire. And this is what I learned, that I believe in that curse because all those fans believe in that curse, and it trickles down to the players. And I said this before finally the Red Sox reversed their curse in 2004, that the big difference between Red Sox fans and Cubs fans, Red Sox fans despise losing. Cubs fans love to lose.
Now, I'll agree with that because of the format of Wrigley Field and what it had become. You know, a great place to go out, and if there happened to be a ball game and they won, people were good with it.
Exciting.
But the outing was just so great.
Yeah.
So I agree with
And
that.
I love Cub fans. I have many close friends who are Cubs fans who are dreading what's about to come.
Yes.
Because their mentality is what there's a bar in Wrigleyville that a lot of Cubs fans go to called Murphy's, and I used to say it's Murphy's Law, that what can go wrong will go wrong for the Chicago Cubs. They go to the season opener thinking, oh my God, what's going to go wrong? And then a lot of people will hold up signs if they lose the opener, wait till next year, right? It's that loser's mentality. We love to cry in our beer together. It trickles down to the players. Now, they have a manager now who can fight fire with psychological fire. He's got all kinds of tricks up his sleeve. They're always dressing up or doing this. So he's going to try to break the curse with all of his silly skits and everything. And it might just work because they're talented enough to break through. But there's going to be the 108-year weight of the Cubs world on their shoulders the deeper we get into the playoffs. And right away, like Arrieta struggled in the playoffs, he did last year. And if somebody goes in there, whoever it is, and steals game 1, look out below because it'll be an, oh my God, here we go again. And I don't know, as talented as his team is, if it can climb out of that psychological hole without help from the fandom, because you can feel it on the field, according to like Mark Grace, a guy who knew very well, used to be a Cubs great.
Yeah.
He would just say, we feel it in the first inning. You can just feel it in the stands like, oh no, here we go.
So you
again,
know what, Skip? I would buy into that if it wasn't for last year. They had that where people thought they were going to make that run, and it didn't go right for them,
it
right? They
didn't go
lost
right,
to the Mets. So they have that. This group, they lost last year. I think they're going to be able to overcome that this coming year because not only did they lose last year, they came back this year and had a better year.
They did.
Right? And now they have all the pieces. There's no reason that they should feel like they can't win or make it happen.
The team before the year started that I feared for the Cubs' sake was a team I grew up loving, the St. Louis Cardinals, because they're arch rivals within the division. They buried St. Louis, but I thought St. Louis was going to creep into the second wild card spot and be trouble for them because of the rivalry. And last, I've been watching my Cardinals, and they have just lost 2 in a row at home to Cincinnati, and they look done to me, which is good news for the Cubs. Again, you got the Dodgers and whoever else.
Do you like the
Mets.
Dodgers at all or no?
Yeah, I like them.
Washington?
Yeah, I like
mean,
the
it's
Mets
not easy.
too.
It's not a piece of cake. It's
Hey,
not
all
a
of a
piece of
sudden,
cake.
the Mets are on a late season run. Don't.
But that's the thing that scares me, Skip, is what you said, them getting down a game. Now, if they can always play for the lead, if they get up 1-0, they have that confidence. But it's like when you lose or you're used to losing, and it seems like every time you get someone like, okay, this is our year, and then you lose the first game, and you're like, it's like Cincinnati in football. They're going to make the playoffs, but we already know what's going to happen. The first team they play, no matter where, home or the road, they're going to lose.
That's correct.
But Skip, if they don't win it this year with what they have, Skip, I don't know. This looks like a Braves lineup, minus the hitting, because Braves never had hitting like this.
No, this is.
But this pitching.
The pitching, the hitting, they have
This is like 27 Yankees stuff.
Oh, right.
I mean, that's
And
really.
the Braves never had the back end like this. I mean, Rodon and Chapman.
And the Braves didn't have a great manager, but John, I mean,
you snuck that with.
Madden is a great
So if
manager.
they lose this year, you're all in on curses.
Yeah, I'm gonna curse
We
him
already
out.
know Skip has jinx power.
Well,
so.
Skip believes in it. He doesn't
The
normally
Red
believe in
Sox
anything.
broke their streak, though, Skip.
They did, with
Eventually,
Theo, and now
and
they-
you know what? And also the Cavaliers had gone right. Cleveland, the
50 years.
city had won 52 years without a
That's
championship.
different. It's Cleveland.
No,
They're still
Cleveland.
losing
She
there.
mad at Bron
They're
because he
still
left
losing.
mine.
Don't let us get
see?
started on that.
That's another story, right?
Thanks for joining us, Rob.